Joys of parenting and motherhood and being a responsible adult. Yeah, it's a lot. So did you know that there's literally like 7 weeks until Christmas? I am not ready.
That's insane. It's just everything just goes so fast.
I know. And I love the holidays. Like, I look forward to all that stuff, but I am not ready. I feel like I wanted to accomplish more, have more money, do this, do that. And that's just like, that's that holiday culture. It's that pressure. Like, I need a boatload of money. I need to have my house clean. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be ready to get the sales. And that's not healthy.
But the American culture also at this point is celebrating the holidays 2 months prior to getting here. So that's a huge issue too, because
maybe that's the pressure I feel
early, right?
Yeah.
We were doing Halloween the first week of September.
That's a little crazy for me.
It was happening. It was all over the store.
Yeah. People are going to start feeling a little pressure. The decorations are going up. The sales are going up. People are going to be wanting to spend in that money. And I feel like we need to take back the holidays. Every family unit should have some type of a traditions, plans, budgeting, some type of a system to kind of keep holidays under wraps so they don't go overboard.
Because in this current climate, it's like the more you spend, the better the holiday is, but that's not
no, and we don't want to teach our kids that.
No. I think it's important to plan ahead and do things like have a budget, right? Like, what do you want to spend? Do you want to spend $500? Do you want to spend $250?
And stick to it.
And definitely stick to that budget and try to figure out, is this going to be on food, traveling, whatever it is, just have a budget and stick to that grocery list, stick to that budget. Know if you're having people over. How many people are you having over? Don't do too much. If you don't plan ahead, you're going to go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, I should make a pumpkin
especially
pie.
with all the things popping at you,
right? And you see things. Sometimes you go to I don't know if this ever happened to you, but you go to the grocery store and you're like starving and you want everything in the store. And you're like, oh,
I'd be eating crackers in the car afterwards.
Right.
I'm a snacker. I like crackers. I'd be opening boxes in the car. I can't wait.
So then you get to the grocery store, you buy all these things, and then you come to Thanksgiving and you don't cook half the things you bought because it's too much, because you really didn't plan ahead. You didn't plan for what your menu would be, for how many people would be there. And you end up cooking more than what you need.
Right.
We've done that as a family because
it's easy because you get wrapped up in the holiday.
You get used to being excessive, right? It's the American culture to do the most.
But you don't need to cook every little thing. No. Like, my most enjoyable holidays is when I bought half of my meal at Costco and I just reheated it.
Okay.
Like, girl, that pumpkin pie is massive and it's only $12. I know you cook your pumpkin pies.
My husband will kill me. He does not want anything.
I buy my pumpkin pie
from scratch on Thanksgiving. No. But it's that one day, right?
I know.
It doesn't cost that much if you're budgeting, if you know what you're getting.
Right.
It doesn't really cost that much, but Thanksgiving's that one day where I have to make everything from scratch.
But it is because you make everything from scratch, you're buying hundreds of dollars in groceries. But another thing is to share the load, right? You can share the load. I would pick a holiday, like Christmas is my holiday. I do the most on Christmas. And the other holidays, I try to share the load. We do Friendsgiving, potluck, everyone brings a dish. It lightens my load a little bit.
Sharing with your friends and family, right?
Like yummy, sweet potato casserole that I always make. I'll make like 3 of them. I'll share. You make me a pumpkin pie. You make me an apple pie. That's a very good thing. Share the load. We're still getting good home cooked meals, but we're sharing the load. Remember, like when my kids were young, I did too much. Like too much. Like my husband would come in the room and be like, what did you do? Like overflowing gifts, couldn't even walk. My babies were barely even walking. And it was just too much. And he was like, what are you doing? These babies barely even walk. Why do they need all these presents? So I remember you telling me that Joey was the one that did too much, not you.
Yeah, Joey's,
Joey's the hubby, by the way.
He, material things, like other ways too, but materialistically speaking, he's like, oh, I'm going to get, her these wonderful diamonds, which is nice.
Right. But he's expressing his love. He's showing his love. It's not just because he's like materialistic. He feels like that's his love language, is gift giving.
Exactly. And I appreciate it. Yeah. They're expensive gifts. But what I teach my children is, if daddy wasn't here, honey, I could not get you those things.
Yeah.
So the truth is, it's better to fall on a budget.
We don't want to create that, like, that's how people show love. We don't want them to think that this person loves me only because they give me expensive gifts, you know?
Right.
We want that quality time. We want those traditions, those values, the respect. We want to teach them more of that stuff.
Right. So the question is, how do we make holidays more about spending time and memories, that quality time over
tradition, the reason for the season, all that. And I have some ideas.
Let's talk about it.
I've changed over the years. I've toned things down. I've tried many systems. I've tried the, something to read, something to wear, something to watch, something to whatever, something to build type of thing. Doesn't really work for us because especially as our kids get older, their wants and needs change. Tone down the gifts. I've started bringing in more traditions that are non-monetary traditions. Like, for example, on Valentine's Day, we don't really spend a ton of money on Valentine's Day, but a non-monetary tradition that we do is we have this metal little tin mailbox, love notes mailbox. And I keep cute stationery next to it. I get Dollar Tree or whatever, cute little stationery. And throughout the week of Valentine's Day, each kid writes something that they love or respect or appreciate about other family members. So that on Valentine's Day, we all take it out and each one reads what they wrote to their other family members. And it's something they look forward to. It's the mailbox is out, and that is our focus. So if you make that one tradition non-monetary focus, they're not looking for those big gifts and they kind of forget about it, and Christmas or holidays are much more enjoyable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We tend to do things more faith-based, right? Try to find stories in the Bible that coincide with the holiday and just kind of keep their mind focused on the reason for every season and really how to live your life like that daily. But then we mix it up with some fun things, right? Like my daughters like to bake. They like to do puzzles. I have one who prefers crafting over everything. So just kind of splitting up the holiday months, for, the Christmas month, December, we try to do things daily, bake some cookies, bake a cake, do a puzzle, spend a lot
decorations.
Right.
I think a big one for us is we like to go look at lights. That's free.
Yeah.
Get a thermos of hot chocolate, go look at lights. I mean, they even have elaborate light things in this area in Vegas that you spend maybe $8 or $10. And yes, that's still monetary, but those are at the Speedway and you're in the car for an hour and you've got Christmas music to go with it. And it's a whole thing. Much more enjoyable and affordable than other things. Cause I would love to take my kids ice skating at, what's it called?
Cosmopolitan.
Girl, that is $35 a person times 7.
Right.
No. And who's going to watch my baby? Because my baby won't let me on that ice rink.
Every time.
It's too much. But, everyone has things that they would like to change around the holidays. Some people, it's more they want to change, their spending. Some people want to change their quality time. So an example that I have is, if the quality time is the concern, you feel like you're not spending enough quality time, maybe take them away from distractions, take them away from the friends and social media, phones around the holidays, and rent a cabin. Take it back, spend quality time, cook Christmas meals together in a cabin with just your family. Go make snow angels, make hot chocolate, make popcorn string for the Christmas tree, whatever your tradition is, spend that quality time, take them away from distractions. If you want that quality time, take away the distractions and make that quality time. If you want to save money, budget accordingly, stick to your guns, don't splurge. You want them to learn how to give also. And the holiday season is a perfect time to teach them how to give back. I know that both of us have done things over the years, and we've talked about this before in many different ways. Me as a foster parent, helping the foster kids, you've adopted families. I think that's a really good thing to do around this holiday season. It's the perfect time. And I think they would really have fun. They have fun shopping for that family. They get connected, especially if you pick a child that's their age, they really get into it.
The way that I get my children to be aware and conscientious of the world around them is to teach them that holidays aren't just about us. They're about those that are less fortunate, right? Those that can't do the things that we do because they shouldn't have less of a holiday just because they don't have what we have. So one of
I love
those
that.
things is adopting a family. Sometimes I go on Facebook and I'm like, hey, does anyone know?
Oh, you
of a
do it on the more
family?
personal level like
I do,
that.
because
We've
then
done
we're
it differently.
Yeah, so I'd say like, hey, does anyone know of a family that's in need? We'd like to adopt a family this year, or we'd like to give away $150 or groceries, whatever the case may be. And believe it or not, people will respond. Like hundreds of people will respond like, hey, this person, or someone will respond and be like, hey, I've had a really hard year. I have X amount of kids, and pray about it, and you give what you can give, and it helps your children become aware of the fact that we have to think outside of ourselves more than we think in ourselves. The more you think outside of yourself, the more God will bless you and family.
That's very humbling for our kids. And I think getting them involved in that, like, look at this family, let's pick it together, make it a personal family journey together. I think that's amazing. I've never done that like in my community. I've just done it with like strangers, because I feel like there's kind of like that, they may be embarrassed and I just want to like randomly spoil them without them knowing who we are. But I love that, because I think it would, resonate with the kids more, because it's a family in our community, a family just like us that lives within our community. I think that would reach them a little bit more. I like that idea. We might try that this year.
I agree. I think sometimes it's hard to, sometimes financially we've gone through things, but it's not the same as what other people are going through.
Right.
Like our financial woes don't look anything like other people's financial woes.
We still have a roof over our head.
Right.
And not everyone has that roof.
And just being at the grocery store and being aware that there are people that are living on one monthly check, right?
Right. Or maybe don't even are not even living on check to check. Like that doesn't even, they would love to be on a check by check basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So just being aware of that and being ready to give, being ready to show those random acts of kindness, and have your children be in the forefront of what that looks like, because hopefully one day they will turn around and do the same thing.
And they'll pass these values and acts of kindness on to their kids. I know we've done some random acts of kindness, like Walmart parking lots. I've always had the dream of just going up and swiping for them, but I'm weird. I don't know. I like being random. And so what we'll do is we'll take like a $20 or even a $50 bill, and we'll put it in a cute little Christmas thing, and we'll put a nice note, and we'll just put it on windshields. This last Christmas, the kids and I sat in the car when we have tins, and I was able to have them watch the random acts of kindness play out. We gave envelopes with $50 bills and cute messages, like Merry Christmas messages, to the guy that does grocery pickup. And we just watched from our car him hand them to people, and seeing them in their car. Like, I remember, I'll never forget this. 2 Christmases ago, we did it when we were here in Vegas, and a mom opened it, got teary-eyed, showed her kids in the back, and the kids in the back were like smiling. And it just, like, I couldn't hear what was going on, but just seeing that and having the kids, they were like, they felt so good. Avea got emotional. Like,
I'll tell you what I like about that the most. I think that random acts of kindness should also be anonymous, because you don't want to take away from what you're doing, right? If you're doing it so that everyone on social media can see you, you really have to
I feel like it's more powerful if it's anonymous.
You have to question your actions if you're doing it for what people can see.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're doing it and you really don't want anything in return except to put a smile on someone's day, to bless them for that week or whatever the case may be, that's where it's more profound. And that's what I want my kids to know too. Giving should be done in secret.
Right.
So that they can really enjoy it. They don't have to be, embarrassed. It's social media is hard these days. People blow up for the wrong things. And you're like, oh my God. And maybe that person didn't want everyone to know that they were struggling,
Yeah. And it touches us just as much as it touches them.
Absolutely.
It gives them hope. So like when they are in a position where they can give a little bit more, they're going to remember that moment and how they felt. And they're going to want that other person to feel that way.
The way I see it, like,
and their kids saw it too. So it's like, it's not only affecting that adult, their kids felt that, like, wow, a random person like blessed us. You know what I mean? Like, and they're gonna be like, Mom, we should do that to someone else. And it may be in a small way. It may just be buying, someone's coffee in front of in Starbucks, you know, in back of you, or someone's Happy Meal or something small like that. No matter how small it is, just the fact that someone did that for you feels good. I get emotional. Just the fact that I don't know who it is just makes it even better. I've had people pay for us, like our meals. We took our kids out to sushi. It was like a $350 meal because it was a special occasion. All of us, all you can eat sushi. Someone paid for us. And left. And now I know who it was, someone we didn't know, but I saw that couple across from us, you know, and then they left. And then about 30 minutes later, when we went to, you know, to pay, they're like, oh, someone paid for you. I'm like,
that's amazing.
It was that couple. I knew it was. They were looking at us smiling like,
and you know what it is?
And it's not the amount. It's just like the fact that someone would do that for you. You know
what it is? That giving is receiving. You receive something in return. Them seeing your family was probably a blessing for them. Like, look at this beautiful family.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
They're so happy. Here, let's just bless them because we can. Because we can. And because it will bless us in doing so. I
really do feel like my family does teach some lessons that I'm not even aware of. Not lessons, but shows love more than we even think. It just naturally happens. Because we're all different.
That's how I saw it when I first met you. That was one of the things I saw.
I get that a lot. I get a lot of messages are like, wow, it's just so amazing to see you guys. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be that way. It's just a lot of dynamic going on, you know?
Another tradition we have is with my kids, I'll tell them, you want something, you have to go in your room and give away a bunch of the stuff that's sitting around. Whether it's a $500, right. If it's a $500 electronic that you haven't played with, bless someone else with it that can't afford that $500. Those things are expensive. You know, if you have a hoverboard that you no longer ride, because like I said, the American culture is get it because it's, you know, that's the culture, it's popular. And before you know it, they're over it. And it's sitting in a room and you spend $300 on, do you remember the hoverboards when they first came out? Like if you've had like Nintendo Switches at home and then your child wants a, you know, PS5 or whatever it is at this stage, pack those up, give them away because the likelihood of them playing with them, slim to none, right? Give them away, let someone else enjoy them, and open up your home to be able to receive more things without being excessive and wasteful, right? I remember going into my kids' room and it drove me totally insane that there were toys everywhere, some that weren't even open yet. Movies, hot cocoa, fuzzy socks, PJs.
And I'll be honest with you, my girls, they're into all that.
So are mine.
So let's make that the focus and the boys reason maybe not for so the season. Our new holiday culture, you know? So it's not about spending and who has the best gift and who is showing their love with all the gifts. It's about everything else. There's a million things specifically around Christmas that we could be doing. You know?
I'll tell you what, when you look at a picture, you have no idea how much money someone spent, but you have those memories forever. So take the time to create the memories, take the time to create the traditions.
Yes.
And these are things that your children can take into their families when they get older. They're not going to take that you spend $1,000 on groceries. No. That's insane. They're going to take those pictures and those
their
moments,
tummies
that
were
laughter,
full.
All that. Being in the kitchen, cooking with you, baking with you.
That's huge,
Dad
especially for girls.
Games,
they love being in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah, it's about the memories that you make and the traditions that you build over time.
And don't spend too much money. It's not necessary. Do not feel pressure. Don't let anyone rain on your parade. What you do in your family household is nobody else's business.
That's right.
Social media, you know, they share so much, but I don't do that anymore.
Neither do I.
Sometimes I do like what I got my kids for Christmas, but it's the thing is it's about budgeting and it's about being realistic and intentional with the gifts. Like we have a whole nother episode that we filmed regarding this, how not to spoil your kids with gifts and gifting ideas, budgets, you know, values, things like that. That's a bonus episode you guys can download. But, you know, I think that's really good. Like, let's bring back the season, the reason for the season.
That's right.
Why Christmas was even a holiday in the first place, creating those traditions, drinking mimosas on Christmas morning.
This season, I'll be doing my baking and cooking.
We're doing Friendsgiving though, right?
We'll be together, yes. We're definitely doing that, and I'll be cooking. I said, Mom, can we have like some Latino food this year? Yes. Because I'm just not into the mashed potatoes and turkey. And I'm like, so what do you want? She's like, empanadas. Okay, I'll make you some empanadas. I'll make you some rice and beans. I mean, it'd be nice to see our kids running around with full bellies, playing, and then laying around because they're stuffed, and just being thankful for the opportunity to be able to even spend the time
Yeah.
and the money to have a good holiday.
For sure. But if you don't, like, there's actually programs where you can pick up holiday meals as well. I've seen those. Like, I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace. Does anyone need a holiday meal? We're giving out a certain amount. So that's really a great thing that people do too, is so if you feel like you need a little help, there are resources out there that can help you with those things, even the gifting too. You can sign up to have your family be a family to be adopted, or like the Giving Tree, the Wish Foundation, not the Wish, it's the Giving Tree, and then there's the Angel Program. I think the Angel Program is here. Go to those websites, sign up. If you feel like you need special help this season, those resources are available.
I feel like maybe because of the number of children that we have, we should find somewhere to volunteer. That's a lot of kids that can help out somewhere.
We need to find a place that will let our kids volunteer.
I know.
That's
it's been hard to find that now.
Family thing is because a lot of places don't let them.
Maybe food pantries or something. I don't know.
Or maybe even like let's do our own random act of kindness.
We can do that.
With our families, and we'll literally sneak and put them on people's cars and doorsteps and things like that. Like I think that's cool. That holiday spirit. It doesn't even have to be money. It could be
anything.
A piece of Christmas
your time,
and a sweet note. Like it, let's make some, and maybe we can put, messages like, remember the reason for the season, and you don't fall into the whole holiday culture. I don't know, some inspiring things that may help them in that moment when they feel like they have to do too much and buy gifts. I think we should do that.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right.
So guys, have a happy holiday.
Yes, have a happy holiday, a happy Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, and an even better New Year.
Year.
All right, girl.
Cheers.